Hi, my name is Sama Khan, and today I will be further investigating the unique adaptations of this fascinating creature called the dromedary camel, which is a one-humped camel. To start off, I will be giving a general overview of its characteristics. This camel has an endoskeleton, which is an internal skeleton covered by skin. Its body cavity type is coelomate, meaning it has true body organ systems. As far as their digestive systems, they do not chew food very well before swallowing, and because of that, they have two stomachs. One that stores the food that is not completely chewed, and one stomach where, when swallowed, it goes to the second stomach, where it is digested. It tends to breathe through its nose and has a one-way tract where it takes food in through one end and the waste comes out from the different end. Now that we know the general characteristics, I would like to move on to displaying the phylogenetic tree, which will distinguish and define this organism from all the others. It all starts with a common ancestor and all of life forms. Then it branches off into three domains, which are archaea, eukarya, and bacteria. Our organism, the dromedary camel, falls under eukarya. So they have eukaryotic cells, true nucleus, membrane-bound cells, and have organelles. Then we branch off into four kingdoms: Protista, Animalia, Fungi, and Plantae. And this falls under Animalia. So they are multicellular organisms. They have animal cells, no cell wall, ingestive nutrition and digestion, and more tissue organization. Then it branches off into three phylums: Invertebrate, Chordata, and Mollusca. And it falls under Chordata. So they have bilateral symmetry, they are coelomate, and show true organ system level of organization. There's a presence of a notochord, and they have a spine throughout all its life. Then we branch off into three classes: Amphibia, Mammalia, and Reptilia. Our organism falls under Mammalia. So it has mammary glands, it's able to regulate their temperature, they have hair for protection, and they have a middle ear bone to work together to provide vibration so they can hear. Then we branch off into three orders, which is Perissodactyla, Artiodactyla, and primates. Our organism falls under Artiodactyla. They have domestic species, diversity in sizes, can form their own dietary preferences, and climate tolerance. Then we branch off into three families: Canidae, Camelidae, and Felidae. Our organism falls under Camelidae. So they usually have one or two humps on their back to provide storage for food and energy. And then we branch off into three genuses: Panthera, Camelus, and Canis. Our organism falls under Camelus. They have humps on their back and act as a transporter. And they are able to withstand extreme environments and ability to regulate their own body temperatures to accommodate for the outside external temperatures. And then we branch off into three species: Camelus dromedarius and Camelus bacterius, and Camelus dromedarius and Llama glama. And these two are both selective breeding. And then we have our organism, which is a Camelus dromedarius. They have long necks, curved necks, and they are the tallest camel out of all the camels, and they are the most common. Some of the unique adaptations of the dromedary camel is that they have one hump. With one hump, they're able to store 80 pounds of fat and break it into food and energy when they need to. They also have two rows of bushy eyebrows and eyelashes, which are present to protect sand from getting in. Also, so the heat/sun glare does not reach its eye and affect its vision. It also has large and very strong lips. Because they are restricted to eating in the desert, the only foods for them are thorny plants. Also because they're herbivores. So lips enable them to eat thorny plants. They also have nostrils that have the ability to open and close. This adaptation is so sand does not enter and irritate the camel through its long, harsh journey. 100,000 years later, the species name now becomes Camelus nidica, and it has developed big ears and arm-like legs for swinging. The story behind this was Because of insufficient amounts of water provided in the desert and the extreme conditions reaching up to 130 degrees Fahrenheit, it led to a drift in the environment that camels live in now. Also, due to global warming, deserts had a lot of solar radiation, thus making this biome susceptible to catching fire. Another reason was that camels were not reproducing very often because there were barely any other organisms to reproduce with, which caused a genetic drift which made the population of camels with certain genotypes smaller in size. After this stabilizing selection took its course, as many genotypes were going extinct from the area. One trait, which was the one-humped camels instead of two, were becoming very uncommon. An advantage is that these one-humped camels were cold-blooded, meaning their temperatures fluctuates based on the external temperatures, and this is how they also adapted to their new environment in the forest, which was the closest to the desert biome after it burned down. The forest biome consisted of many of the survival needs for camels, such as thorny plants and abundance of water. After moving to this biome, they slowly developed big ears and arm-like legs to swing up onto trees and hear and hide from their predators. This connects to unity as every specific species of camels have some common characteristics as to why they are placed in the same family. In this species, it would be the legendary one or two humped camel that allow them to travel long distances without substantial amounts of food or energy. Another shared factor amongst this family is that it is able to withstand such extreme environments and have grown lips strong enough to eat thorny plants or anything thorny along their journey if they really needed to. This also connects to diversity in a sense that every specific species of camels have its own certain set of characteristics that distinguish it from the others and that allows for diversity among the population of camels. For instance, the dromedary camel has only one hump instead of two and has a longer and curved neck than other species of camels. An interaction is when all organisms are able to communicate in any way with their environment. Examples are breathing, making chocolate milk, or playing video games. Any camel in this genus acts similarly when interacting with something whether it be producing offspring or breaking down the fat in their humps to help them survive. An adaptation is an alteration in a structure or function in parts of an organism that help them survive in their environment. Some unique adaptations in this genus is that they have a thick layer of fur not to keep it warm, however to protect it from the harsh blazing heat of the sun. Another feature is their hump. The dromedary is 1 and bacterian is 2, and it serves the same purpose in both types, which is to store food and energy when they cannot find food on their journey along the desert. Continuity of life is the characteristics of one generation being passed on to another. When camels meet someone along their long hard journey, they will mate with them, as it is rare to see an organism survive in the heat in the desert. Anyone sighted by the camel will be a prime target to reproducing new offspring, whether it be a different species altogether. Homeostasis is maintaining a steady state of internal balance with living things. However, since camels are cold-blooded, they do not maintain a constant body temperature. Their body temperatures fluctuates based on the external temperatures. An example is if it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, their bodies will soon regulate to 50 degrees Fahrenheit as well. Changes through time. This means that life will not be identical in the future, and organisms that are able to sustain itself or adapt will go extinct. An extinct species of camels that are a separate genus known as camelops. And because humans invaded their land and made it their own with little or very minimal space for them to live, many could not adapt and started becoming endangered and soon went extinct. Thank you all so much, and I hope you all learned a thing or two about the unique adaptations of a dromedary camel.